Zach and I did a Love of the Star podcast this morning. And is it up yet, Zach? I haven't checked.
It's up. It is out. It is there, and it is ready for you to listen to.
Yeah, do it after our show if you would today.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, just give it a listen there. And because right now the Philadelphia Eagles are kicking our ass in the podcasting world, But we'll see. Like I said,
the old Super Bowl bump.
The Super Bowl bump is getting us. But we'd love for you guys to continue to listen to. If you already are listening to Love of the Star, just keep doing that. But if you're new and you want some Cowboy content, well, we'd love that. We did a mailbag segment today. Well, not a segment. We did a mailbag show.
Mailbag?
Man, we had some really interesting questions today.
We had some great ones.
From the great ones. And one of the ones I want to steal because I think it gave us the most debate between Wolchuk and myself. And I'll go to Zach last so he can kind of fill you in on the direction he went with this one. But the question was posed to us is you can only sign, tag, or let walk these players I'm about to give you. Sign, tag, or let walk. The players that they were asking about were Micah Parsons, George Pickens, and DaRon Bland. Which player would you sign, tag, or let walk? And please tell me why you would do what you're doing. Give me your reason. Let's go with you first, Chief.
Okay, sign, tag, or walk. Micah, George, and you said Bland?
Bland, yes, sir.
Yeah. I can't imagine that I'm going to mess around with tagging any of these guys.
Well, it's part of the game. You get to
it's
do
like a Mary Murder Bleep.
Yeah, you can get to do one of these things.
So somebody's got to be signed, somebody's got to be tagged, and somebody has to walk.
Let's hope that George Sedano comes on here in the next few minutes and livens this thing up.
Save us, George. Save us.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm signing Micah Parsons, and I guess I'm tagging DaRon Bland, and I'm letting George Pickens walk. I'm not going to be able to. If I tag George Pickens, that number is huge. Tag George Pickens. Give him top 5 wide receiver money. And you're going to be, that's what, 30 plus million on your cap for a franchise tag?
Sure.
There's no way. That's a non-starter. That's impossible. We're not doing it. I'm signing Micah Parsons because he's one of the best defensive players in the league, and I'll tag DaRon Bland because it's still a premium position at the cornerback spot. Can't find him, not just all over the place like wide receivers are. And the number won't be quite as high as what it would be for tagging George Pickens. Easy money.
I could go a lot of different ways with this, but I think it's signing Micah Parsons because I'm most sure about him with all these 3 guys, and I want to have somebody that I'm more sure about. Now there's definitely some question marks with him, but I want to tag Pickens, because I want to bring him back for another year. I think right now what you have is an advantage. And I don't want to have it for just 1 year. At the same time, I don't want to go super long-term with Pickens. So I think the tag makes a ton of sense. Shoot. You saw what Burrow did with those 2 receivers. We can't run the ball. We got the number 1 offense. And then the Eagles win the Super Bowl with 2 receivers. I think there's something to the 2-receiver deal. And especially with Dak. I think this is going to get favorable looks for your running game. Your passing game is going to be great. This offense should be amazing. And a lot of it is because what Pickens and Lamb are going to present.
Remember what the team that you're talking about. You're talking about the Cowboys. So as soon as they dedicate that much money to George Pickens, you got nothing. You have Joe Burrow's defense. So that's a lot of fun. Dak ain't even Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's not making the playoffs with that. So that's a lot of fun, but you have the worst defense in football history. So I guess it's going to be great scoring a bunch of points and missing out on the playoffs. But that's what you're doing. You're not talking it. You're talking about Devontae Smith and the Eagles. Howie Roseman is not just paying Devontae Smith and saying, "Sorry guys, we can't pay anybody else." He's paying plenty of people. He's still going to have an awesome defense.
Well, I don't want to pay the 25th best corner like top 10 money at his position. I don't think that's an efficient use of my cap dollars.
Well, that was the constraints of this hypothetical. I don't necessarily want to tag either of these guys either. But
Pickens is better at his job than Bland is, isn't he?
I would say yes. But also, I trust DaRon Bland to be a professional a hell of a lot more than I do
you're
George
right.
Pickens.
Yeah, I was thinking of the Murray, the Mary F. Kill thing.
Yeah.
I was going to marry Bland, as I started going down that path because
You're going to F Micah?
I don't know. I couldn't get past that one, but I know for sure DaRon Bland's the husband material.
So the Shams bomb did drop. It's the Buss family selling the Lakers.
Oh.
Didn't think that was coming. Buss
That's out of
family's
left field.
entering an agreement to sell majority ownership of the Lakers to Mark Walter, the CEO, chairman of diversified holding company TWG Global. So that is what the breaking news is. The Buss family, who has owned the Lakers since 1979, will be selling majority ownership. Okay, so Brian,
did they give a price on this?
I don't have that. I'm sure those numbers are going to come out very soon.
Okay.
Very, very soon.
Wow, Lakers going to be throwing money around like crazy.
I mean, they bought the Lakers for $67.5 million back in 1979.
With Jack King Cook.
I can't wait to see what the number is. I'm sure Shams is going to have that in just a second.
Billions, right?
Just a second.
Is it probably $3-4 billion, you think? I don't think the Lakers.
What was that Celtics sale
yeah,
for?
what was the Celtics? I thought
6?
the Celtics.
It's got to be
think-
somewhere around there, don't you think?
Do the Lakers own? Do the Lakers own? I
Oh,
think the hockey
Crypto.
team. Hockey team actually owns the Boston Garden. Or what is the Boston
I
Garden?
bet the
Or
Lakers
TD
own
Garden
that
or what?
arena. I bet they do.
So Staples, or it's the crypto arena now,
Yeah,
right?
It's always Staples.
Celtics sold for 6.1.
I don't know if the
Bill.
Lakers are going to go for more than that.
Oh, for sure they will.
I can't wait to find out. And we'll have George Sedano coming up at 4:20.
Zach, tell me real quickly.
Okay, real quick, I did say they're signing Micah. I would tag Bland. I would let Pickens walk. But Brian, we then went into a theory that I loved from you, sir.
Go for it. Tell me what my theory was.
Micah Parsons. Why don't you tag one Micah Parsons per Brian Broaddus? Now, if you look at the tags for all three of these positions, the most expensive is wide receiver. Then you have defensive end for 2026. The projected franchise tag is $26.5 million. What are you looking at probably paying Micah Parsons right now?
40.
So could I save $15 million and just go ahead and slap a franchise tag on Micah Parsons, and then now I have an extra $15 million of money that I can spend elsewhere to try and make my roster whole? Now, I don't know. Maybe your player's not happy about this. In fact, I think we could guarantee
He's
the
definitely
player's
not.
not happy about this. But from a team-building perspective, I do kind of like this idea, because then maybe you can find a way to keep maybe a Pickens and a Bland.
Yeah. You could probably, if you just go ahead and tag him, you might have a chance to really sign all three of these guys.
I do like it in theory. Now, obviously, we're dealing with people and personalities.
I was just trying to think of the best way to get all three players.
Yeah,
That's definitely the best way to do
I
it.
would, if it was me though, I'm with Dawson. I would let Bland walk if I couldn't do this. But I'm going to tag Parsons. I'm going to sign Pickens, and I'm likely going to let Bland walk. But I think with the money that I save by trying to tag Parsons, and I'm banking on that Parsons is not going to want to miss game checks.
Right,
So-
right.
So I'm banking on him. I think he would be the hardest one to get done. So I'm going to go ahead and tag him.
So you think you tag Micah and he plays?
I think he doesn't want to miss money. He wants to. I think, to me, you look at him. He's in this. He's going to be in this stay in or stay out, whatever you want to call it, and can't hold in, whatever you want to call it, camp. Just over $50,000 a day, I believe. So I'm going to take a chance that I could get him, and I'm going to take that $20 million, and I'm going to go do things elsewhere with it. Is what I'm going to do.
I think that's a fascinating
It is.
They
I mean,
got to be threatening to hand that out. I just don't think he would play under it.
Well, if he does not want to play, then he's roughly missing, million something a game. I mean, is that what we're looking at right now?
Mm-hmm.
2 million, almost.
Yeah, he'd be missing a lot of money. Not
Do you
to
think
play.
the Cowboys would really let him sit out, or would they cave to what?
This is what I would do. I would tag him, and I told you this. I would tag him, and like I said, if I had the feeling that he was going to hold out, I mentioned this. I would go get Von Miller and just try and put together 16 and a half sacks, not just from Von Miller, but Azaraku, Von Miller, whoever else is going to Fowler. I'm just going to put together as many sacks as I can with those guys. If he wants to sit out, fine. If he's going to miss game checks, let's see how long he wants to miss game checks for. I don't think he wants to do that. That's why if you want to turn the tide on how the Dallas Cowboys operate,
yeah, that'll do it.
play hardball with him because he's the one guy that won't sit out, I believe.
All righty, it is the GBAG Nation in Krusty's Corner every afternoon at 3:40 here on the Fan. That was good debates, guys. Great content as always with Krusty's
Thanks to
Corner.
the fans for sending that question in, by the way.
Yeah, nice job.